Hi everybody, how are you doing? Well, let's move on to adjectives. We have three classes of adjectives in Spanish. The ones with the typical masculine, feminine endings, OA. You just add, no, you'll find them like OA. Alto, tall, alta, tall for women, or for common nouns that are feminine. Tower, torre, it's feminine. La torre alta, the high tower. Bajo and baja, short. For example, I am a short man. Yo soy un hombre bajo. Ella es una mujer baja. She's a short woman. Lindo, linda. Handsome, pretty or beautiful. This means ugly for men or for things that take the masculine article, and for the feminine, feo, fair. Well, these are examples, just examples, a few examples. We have a second group that ends with the letter E. Fuerte, inteligente, reciente, confortable. Confortable. Strong, intelligent, recent, comfortable. And a third group, a third group of words ending in 4 different consonants that are adjectives. For example, these are the only 4 consonants in which we'll find adjectives in Spanish. L, N, R, Z. Útil, useful. Leal, loyal. Banal, vain. Real, real. With N, común, common. Ruin and truan, ruin and truan, we don't have the tr sound. In Chile they do, but it's the only country in which they do have it. Ruin and truan mean. He's a mean man, she's a mean woman. Both mean the same. Then ending with r sound, impar, odd, an odd number. Par, when it's an adjective, it's not the word pair, because in Spanish both the noun par, a pair of shoes, and the adjective par, un número par, both have the same word. So this is the adjective even. Posterior, subsequent. Exterior, exterior. Interior, inner. Anterior, former or previous. And finally, the ones that end with Z, capaz, remember in Spain, capaz. Capaz, capable, able. Tenaz, tenacious. Veloz, speedy. And voraz, yes, it can be seen, okay. Voraz, voracious, ravenous. So these are the 3 cases. And for making when we want to make the plural of these adjectives, we'll do the same. We'll do the following. I don't know why I said the same. We'll do the following, or as follows. As these words, both the ones in the first category and the ones that are into the second one, we just add the letter S because they already end in a vowel. Altos, altas. El hombre alto, los hombres altos. No, el adjetivo alto no, el adjetivo lindo, los adjetivos lindos. In all cases we do this. The same here because they already end with the letter E, so hombres fuertes, strong men. Un hombre fuerte, a strong man. Inteligentes, recientes, confortables. In these cases, the exception is here, but all these three, as we don't have a vowel in the end, we have to add es. Útiles, leales, banales, reales. Do you remember the two endings for the plural? Well, in these cases, as we don't have a vowel ending the word, we have to add the E together with the S. The same here, but we drop this sign when we see the rules of accents. We'll see why. Comunes, ruines, truanes. Although the stress is in the same syllable as in the singular, that sign must be taken off, must be dropped. Impares, pares, posteriores, exteriores, interiores, anteriores. This happens, here happens something special. Let's see. We'll have to do a change. I really don't know why, because I shouldn't study. I should read it in a book on the evolution of Spanish letters, because in fact they are pronounced the same. I mean, what we have to do doesn't make any change in pronunciation. Un hombre capaz, una mujer capaz, un niño capaz. Personas. Let's see if it's okay. Personas. And we have to do the following. Not only do we have to add the es, but turn this z into a c. This is the rule. I don't make the rules, and all the words ending in nouns too, ending in z, in the plural they have to turn into c. I really don't know why, because in pronunciation they are the same, both in Latin America and in Spain. Here we say capaz, tenaz, veloz, voraz, capaces, tenaces, veloces, voraces. In Spain, capaz, capaces, capaces, tenaz, tenaces. So pronunciation doesn't change, but we have to write it in a different way. Personas capaces, so capable people, people who are able to do something. Tenaz, the same. Up to here it's the same. Then what do you do? We change the Z, we turn it into a C and add the plural form in this case. This is the peculiarity of the adjectives ending in Z. So let's move on to further examples of nouns, sustantivos, los sustantivos, because in the previous lesson we saw nouns ending with either a or o. I mean, feminine and masculine forms, but I told you that there were exceptions. So in here I didn't put examples with nouns ending with o because they are the ones that have more exceptions. So nouns can also end with the following letters. I will go through the alphabet. There's no noun ending in b in Spanish. No noun ending in c, k. But in de, yes, we do have them. For example, this is a masculine noun, el huésped. Ending with de, we have we have both genders. El huésped means the host. La pared, this is feminine. La pared means the wall. The wall. And this is very important. In this group, those ending with the letter D, there is a subgroup of all feminine nouns. They are feminine, and they are abstract nouns. La libertad, freedom, libertad, freedom. La responsabilidad, what a long word. Oh my. La responsabilidad, responsibility, etc. When an abstract noun in Spanish ends with ade preceded by te or de, libertad, responsabilidad, it's always feminine. So apart from these concrete nouns, a person who is a host at a place, a wall, we have these abstract nouns that are all feminine. With e, we have, I put two examples of so as to show you the masculine noun and the feminine noun. El mueble, furniture. I know that in English it's uncountable. In Spanish it's not. We say un mueble, dos muebles, tres muebles, cuatro muebles. For example, a chair is un mueble. This that is behind this is another mueble. The table that I'm knocking on is another mueble, etc. And this is feminine, fiebre, fever, la fiebre. El mueble, la fiebre. The rule for the plural is always the same. Huésped, huéspedes, mueble, muebles, this rule, it's always the same. There are, I guess, these only two words in Spanish ending with the letter E. No more than that. I mean, with de, there are lots of examples. I didn't write all of them, of course. There are lots of examples. With e, there are lots of examples too. With e, I couldn't remember more than these two words, and I mean, I'm 48 and I've been speaking Spanish since I was a child because it's my mother tongue. Maní, peanut, and coati, it's an animal. I saw them when I went to the waterfalls. Cataratas del Iguazú. Both they are both in. I mean, they divide a part of the country. They are a division between Argentina and Brazil at the northeast of the country. Coati, I guess it's in English, Coati, and as it ends with E, we have to add mani. I say this because even native Spanish speakers say manices, cuatices. It's wrong. The correct way to say it is manies, cuatilles. Ending with and they have a peculiarity that these two words are masculine. No, I'm laughing because there are only two words ending with E, and they are masculine. Ending with L, we have a lot. I put two examples, a masculine one and a feminine one. El laurel, the laurel. La miel, the honey. Honey, laurel. I repeat it in case you couldn't listen properly because the motorcycle was going very fast. El laurel, la miel, the laurel, the honey. Ending with M. We have these only 4 examples in Spanish, and they are all masculine. Because it's a rare sound for us to utter at the end of the word. In fact, I mean, we must say album, memorandum, curriculum, and totem. But many native speakers pronounce them in a wrong way and turn this into an N because it's a rare letter at the end of a word in Spanish. So they say album, álbumes, totem, totems, but it's wrong. Don't say that, please, because it's wrong. Album, and they are all masculine. El álbum, el memorándum, el currículum, el totem. The album, as in English, the memorandum, the totem, I guess it's the totem. And curriculum, it's written like this in English, but I don't remember if it's résumé from French, resume. Sorry, I should have checked out the pronunciation, but I forgot. But by seeing this, you know what I mean, the personal information that one gives to a company, for example, before going to an interview for a job, to try to get a job. And totem is a totem, it's the same in Spanish, in English. And there is something special about plurals here. I'm going to end with this, but then I'll show you how we turn them into the plural form. Ending with N, we have a lot. And I wrote a masculine word, el sillón, the armchair. Well, in Spanish we have chair, that is silla. Sillón, like a big silla, but it's not the same. But the word is sillón, armchair. Canción, well, like chanson, song. El sillón, la canción. And we have lots of words ending with N. And here we had another subgroup that, like in this case, is feminine. And they are abstract nouns too, and they are very similar to English, but the difference is that as we have different articles according to gender and number, the gender with the article will always be la. Intention, intención. Communication, well, comunicación, comunicación. No, realization is a fake friend. Realización is not the same meaning. It doesn't have the same meaning. Organization, organización, and so on. I mean, I say so on because as they both in Spanish and English, they come from the Latin suffix tio. Comunicatio, communication, comunicación. Dispositio, disposition, disposición, etc. They all end with this suffix. In Spain, ción. In Latin America, ción. All these abstract nouns ending with n are feminine, as in here. And then we have, as the same that happens here, other group that refers to concrete nouns and that can take either the masculine or the feminine. With ending with r sound, most of them, there are many in Spanish, but almost all of them are masculine, except these two cases, these two words. Flor, flower, is feminine, la flor. Mujer is feminine because it's referred to woman, la mujer. Apart from that, all the other nouns, sustantivos, that end with r are masculine. So it's easy to remember. I say this because in these cases it's easier to remember. The feminine that always the case of feminine nouns that end with their sound and that are abstract, the same here and the same here. Most of them are masculine. El factor, the factor. El motor, the engine. El calefactor, the heater. From Latin, that produces heat. Factor, facere, means to do or to produce, and cale from calor. We say calor, but in Latin it's calor. That produces heat. I guess nouns. Let's see. I have to explain and there are more consonant endings. Yes. So I'm going to erase this and let's see. Well, now we are getting to the final part. Adjectives ending with s, with s, with the s sound. We have a lot of them, and we can find either masculine and feminine nouns. If I said adjectives, I meant nouns. Cien pies is el cien pies, masculine, the centipede. Syntax, it's feminine, la sintaxis. Ending with te is not very common in Spanish, but we do have some a few words, and they are all masculine. So it's easy for you to remember. If a word ends with te, it's masculine. Like the animal, mammoth, boycott, mammoth, boycott, zenith, zenith. They are all el mammoth, el boycott, el zenith. Ending with u, I couldn't remember more than these two words in Spanish. It's extremely rare that a word ends in u in Spanish. Impetu, it means momentum. El ímpetu. Menú, the menu, el menú, and these two words are masculine. Ending with y, there are not many cases, but the few cases that we have, They can belong to one gender or to the other. This is masculine. El buey, this is the animal, the ox. Yes, I wrote it down here to remember. The ox, el buey. La ley, it's feminine, the law. Ending with Z, we have a lot of them, a lot of nouns. This is masculine and this is feminine. El maíz, the corn, as in popcorns. La raíz, the root. As regards plurals here, I'm going to say something, because all these cases deserve special attention. Let's see the te. It's an exception to the rule that says that we add es when the end ends in a consonant, because in this case we say el mamut, los mamuts. So it's an exception to the rule. Los boicots, and we don't have a plural for this because it refers to only one phenomenon, when the sun is perpendicular to the earth, zenith, at 12 in the afternoon. Well, of course not at 12 at night, because I'm talking about the sun. So this directly we don't have a plural form for this because it doesn't make sense. But if the word ends in te, as I said before, there are just very few cases. We only add an s, so it's an exception to that rule. I told you that these are the only two words in Spanish that have an ending, u ending, that end with u. In this case, as the stress doesn't fall here but at the beginning, we just add the s. I'm saying this because I told you before. No, it goes according to the rule because it's already a vowel, so you add an s. The change is here. As it's stressed in the first syllable, you do what the rule says. Ímpetu, el ímpetu, los ímpetus. In Spanish, we have the plural form, momentum. Los ímpetus. El menú, one menu. Los menúes. Here we add, although we already have letter U, as it's stressed here, we have to add es, so it's another exception. So with te and u, they are exceptions to the rules, but these are all the possible cases, so you can even study them by heart, that you will remember, because these are the only two cases. Let's see with Y. Now with Z it's easy because you have to do the same that we did with adjectives. If we want to say the plural, maíces, apart from adding this end, we have to change this Z for a C. Raíz is the same mechanism. In the plural, yes, it's peculiar in Argentina, but I mean, it's a small region compared to the whole region of Spanish-speaking countries. The exception is in Argentina. In Spain and Latin America, they say bueyes, leyes. Here we say, what we do, we say buey. Remember that we pronounce in Argentina, we pronounce this as sh. like this sequence in English. Show, chacaré, chapechou, or other words. Shusho, a piece, a herb. So in the singular, there's no problem because it sounds similar to an E. So we have a threephthong, three vowels together. Buey, we don't say buey, buesh. It sounds ridiculous. We say it as in the rest of Latin America and in Spain, buey. But when we do the plural, we pronounce it as we do here. Buey, bueyes, ley, leyes. That's the peculiar thing about the Y ending. Only in Argentina and not in the north of Argentina, from the center down to the south. So you can say leyes and it's super because it's the way most people say it. And so I have to say something about the S ending and to explain something to you about the O ending. What happens with S? What happens with S? In some cases, you'll have to follow the rule and add S because it's a consonant. But in other cases, they are written and they are said the same way as this in the singular. In some cases, I don't know why, but in other cases it's clear. Cien pies, this is already the plural of pie, that is foot, and pies means feet. In English you have centipede because it comes from Latin. Latin is pes, is the plural, the singular foot, and pedes is the plural. Yes, the third declination. So you have a centipede coming from Latin, but in Spanish we take the Spanish word directly. So we say el cien pies and los cien pies. We don't say los cien pieses because it's already a plural. In this case, if we are talking about many sintaxis, we say las sintaxis de las distintas lenguas. The different languages syntax, but we use it in the plural. But the word stays the same. So these both words, don't take the plural form, even if we are referring to them as, even if we want to mean the plural, but grammatically we don't make any change. Now I wrote some other cases, because now I don't remember. Yes, in the case of compass, in music, the compass, it's masculine, el compás, and here we follow the rule, los compases. As a teacher saying to a dancer, to the dance student, please follow these compasses. In this case, we do put the ES, let's see. A pencil sharpener, it doesn't take the plural form in Spanish because we have the same case as in here. It happens in the same way. Sacapuntas. Literally, it means that it's an object that sharpens, sharpens the point, the tip of the pencil. And as it's the plural of punta, the tip, it's already the plural, so we say el sacapuntas, los sacapuntas, el pie, los pies, so it's the same. Doses is as in syntax, the plural is the same, we don't add yes. So be careful with nouns ending with s because in some cases you have to follow the rule and in others you won't have to do it. And I left the letter O in purpose. I decided to explain it at the end of the video in purpose because it's a bit tricky. Well, before moving on to the vowels or a that I said, I forgot to put the nouns ending in x with the letter X or X. There are just a few in Spanish: tórax, thorax, climax, climax, and I don't know if there are more than those two, and they are all masculine, so there's nothing. And the plural doesn't change. It's un tórax, dos tórax. El clímax, los clímax. So the word stays the same in the singular and the plural form, and those words are all masculine. We don't have any feminine words ending with X. Now let's move to the tricky vowels or a. The trickiest is the a. Sorry, I said the o when I guess it's the a. In most cases, sounds ending with o are masculine and those ending with a are feminine. Here we have some examples of an exception to that rule. Radio is feminine in Spanish. We don't say el radio. El radio is another thing. It's in physics. I don't know physics, so, but it's el radio. Maybe many of you will understand what I'm saying. La mano, it ends in o, and we don't say el mano. La mano, the hand. So, as this word, although this word ends with o, and it's feminine. Although it ends in o, it's feminine. But the gender is as the gender is feminine. You're gonna combine them with with the adjectives in the feminine form. If I want to talk about my new radio, I'll say la radio nueva. If my hand's dirty, this means sucia, dirty. In Spanish we have sucio and sucia. La mano sucia. We'll have to follow the gender of the word. The same here, but the other way around. The problem, we don't say la problema because it ends with a, but we say el problema. I mean, one could think, why don't la problema if it ends with a? But those are exceptions to that rule. El problema, and as it's masculine, the adjective has to take the masculine form. The huge problem, the immense, el problema inmenso. The huge wall, la pared inmensa. But here we say inmenso because problema is masculine. The theme, the topic, the subject we are talking about is new, if I want to mean that. El tema nuevo. The new topic or the new theme. Again, as it's masculine, we say nuevo and not nueva. There is a special case in Spanish with the word papa. If it's referred to potato, it's feminine, la papa, the potato. If we are talking about the Pope, we say el papa because it's a man. We have the word papisa for the feminine form of papa, but I should investigate more deeply about religion, and I'm not fond of religion, so. La papa is the potato, the vegetable, and el papa is the head of the Christian church, the Pope. Jorge Bergoglio. This is his real name, but as a pope he's Francisco. And here comes maybe the hardest part, so pay attention, please. I mean, I wrote down only 3 examples because the mechanism is always is exactly the same in these particular cases, but please pay attention because it's tricky. In Spanish, there are some words, not many, but some words that end with a and have the and although they are feminine, they take the masculine article, just the article, not the adjective. It's we make this to avoid cacophony, you know, when 2 sounds together sound we can't stand them. I don't know why really, because we could do the same as in Italian. If we say l'acqua, we don't say l'acqua, water. It's el agua. It's feminine, but it takes this article to avoid this cacophony of the 2 a sounds together. But in Italian, for example, acqua, it's feminine, and it's la acqua, but they contract it to avoid that. We could do the same, but we don't. I don't know why. And they say l'acqua. L'acqua. In Spanish, we don't do this. And we don't say la agua, we say el agua. So here. But although this is what I want to express very precisely and to say very precisely, because it's the tricky part of the word, of this kind of words. Agua ends with a. So at first one could say it's feminine. I mean, it is feminine, but it doesn't take the feminine article. To avoid cacophony, we say el agua and not la agua. But when we modify the word, we use it in the feminine form. So it's special because we don't say el aula sucia, the dirty classroom. El alma pura, the pure soul. El agua turbulenta, the troubled water, as in the song. In troubled waters. Yes, I think the name of the song is Troubled Waters. Aguas turbulentas, that are moving constantly. So these cases are all in the feminine, but take the masculine article, but the adjectives work the same as in the feminine form. So it's not el aula sucio, but el aula sucia. It's not el aula puro, but el alma puro, but el alma pura. And it's not el agua turbulenta, el turbulento, el agua turbulenta. There are other examples. Let's see if I wrote el ansia, anxiety. I mean, there are no many examples, so I won't, even if I keep thinking of more of them, I won't find many because it's in these cases. Well, I think this is enough for today because, as I always say, these the goals we learn, the goals, I don't know what I said, the words we learn in every video and the concepts that we learn are not very easy, or I mean, they aren't impossible to study, but of course this wouldn't make sense if they were impossible to study. But as they are not that easy, neither that easy nor that difficult, but they maybe one needs to work them more deeply, to work on them more deeply, so as to fix the rules and the examples and what we do with one letter and what we do with other letters. So in the next video I'm going to make a combination of the verb to be, again, so as to strengthen our knowledge of it and as to deepen our knowledge. And I'm going to make a combination of that verb and nouns and adjectives. So we are going to practice sentences about them by using them. And then, well, we'll go on moving to more things, of course. Yes, sure. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Please thumbs up, please subscribe, not subscribe. We say suscríbase. Subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next lesson. Bye bye. Ciao. Sorry, and I forgot to say that we have only one word in Spanish ending with the letter J, J, and it's reloj, el reloj, so it's masculine. Bye bye.